My daughter's teacher encouraged kids to call her broken robot because of her stutter. When I tried to hold him accountable, he laughed and said, if she can't handle a little teasing, life's going to eat her alive. I didn't say a word. That was 2 months ago. I stayed silent. That was 8 weeks ago. This morning, he had to be escorted out of his office. I still remember the day my daughter came home from elementary school crying her eyes out. Her little face was completely red and swollen, and it absolutely broke my heart. I asked her what was going on, keeping my voice steady and calm. This continued for a few minutes. My daughter has a speech impediment, so this was nothing new, but still, her stuttering was lasting longer than usual, which made me immediately suspicious. After 10 minutes, she finally said enough for me to make out what was going on. Well, kinda. I knew it was something about her teacher, and the class laughing at her. It was enough for me to be filled with rage. In front of her, I kept my cool and used my usual dad trick. I grabbed a piece of paper, scribbled a world's coolest daughter certificate onto it, and handed it to her. Through her tears, she started giggling, and finished her evening with a Bath and Body Works bath bomb. The next day, after I dropped her off, I waited in the car park. After 20 minutes had passed, I sneaked into her elementary school and stood outside the door of her classroom. I honestly had no idea what I was doing or what exactly I was looking for. I just knew I needed to do something, and after just a few minutes, I got my answer. The teacher asked the class a question, and my daughter's hand shot right up. A feeling of pride filled my veins, but that was soon replaced with rage. 300 and... She struggled to get the words out, but it was clear she knew the answer. But instead of encouraging her, the teacher chuckled. Suddenly, the entire room broke into laughter. "Hey, Zoe, maybe you should use your words," someone heckled. "She sounds like a broken robot," someone else said tauntingly. It took everything in me not to burst right through the door and start throwing hands, because I knew that would embarrass her. So instead, I continued observing. Tears started streaming down my daughter's face, and the teacher said, "Okay, let's move on," with a massive smirk plastered on his face. That's when my cover was blown, because my daughter ran out to try and make a beeline towards the bathroom. But I stopped her, and she ran into my arms. I held her so tight she could barely breathe, and I immediately felt her little shoulders loosen up. I put her down, and she tightly held my hand as we marched to the principal's office. When we walked in, he looked confused, and I could immediately tell that he wasn't aware of what was going on. So I laid it out for him. "A member of your staff has been encouraging bullying towards my daughter." My tone was cold, straight to the point. I expected to notice some sort of urgency or shock in his face, but instead, he just sighed. "What is it for?" "Her speech impediment," I responded. "Well, she should probably get it fixed then." My hand that wasn't holding my daughter's tightened so hard my knuckles turned completely white. I was about to say something, but that's when I noticed the school calendar on his desk. There was an event scheduled for Friday that week, the school talent show. That fact was enough for me to walk away from the situation because I began to hatch a plan.